Creepy crawlies in your house are never fun. What serves as a Roomba in a bird's nest might do some serious damage to Dad's favorite chair. The carpet beetle may not be as troublesome as its breakfast in bed loving kin, but it can be a nuisance for fabric fans. Why does this little larva love linens and things of that nature? If you're able to digest what others can't, there will always be a place at the tablecloth in life, death, and taxonomy. Welcome back to Life, Death, and Taxonomy. It's your 30 minutes of interesting animal information. I'm Joe.
And I'm Carlos.
Thank you to Cassie for the creation of our theme song. To hear more of Cassie's music, please search Cassie Michelle on YouTube or Spotify.
And a very special thank you to Johanna for the creation of this week's artwork. To check that out, you can follow us on Facebook or Twitter at LD Taxonomy, or visit us at our home on the web at ldtaxonomy.com. And another special thank you to our patrons. Tristan Taylor, Jesse Raspulich, Carol Raspulich, Paul Chomo, and Richard Kaspar. Thank you so much for your support. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for helping us keep the lights on.
And today we're talking about a carpet-crunching fiber eater, but more on that later.
For sure. And I think we need to acknowledge the podcasters in the room.
Yeah. We it's if it sounds different, if you're just listening, and if it looks different,
if you're a patron,
you know exactly what's happening.
We're in the same room podcasting for the first time in like 3 years.
Well, I don't even know what the last episode was where we were in the same room.
Whatever 3 years ago was.
Recording with the Yeti.
Yeah, this old Yeti microphone, which actually picks up the sound pretty well. So,
in days of yore, the Yeti of yore.
Yeah, we don't have this Skype delay. This is going to be a breeze.
It'll be a breeze to edit.
Yeah.
But also, like mere moments after getting my brand new setup with mics, a mic that I can put right up next to my face. We're back to having to be like a foot apart. Yeah.
But this mic doesn't need it. It also picks up everything. So if you hear our chairs squeak, it's because I don't have any WD-40. But yes, we are talking about the carpet beetle. The magic carpet beetle.
Mm-hmm.
This one's not magic. I lied. But we're going to call it here the bedazzled Bear Grylls beetle, because it eats everything. The naughty nibbler. The Pikachu. Or Pikachu. I think that's what I was going to do. Pikachu, because Pikachu. Chew on stuff it's not supposed to. And pesky, peckish, pica pest.
Yeah. I was there when the sausage was made this time.
Gross.
When Bibi was coming up with Pikachu. But she was saying, because I think the clinical term for people that eat things they're not supposed to, that have the compulsion to eat like
it's
chalk.
pica.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Pikachu is just like actually the perfect nickname.
Right.
For anyone that eats like toilet paper and soap and stuff like that. We've written articles about that. But yes, you want to know what actual scientists call this thing?
I sure do.
So the kingdom is one we know, love, and are in that kingdom, Animalia. The phylum is Arthropoda, not Anthropoda. Human foot. The class is Insecta. The order, Coleoptera. The infraorder, this one's a good one, Bostrichiformia.
No way.
Bostrichiformia.
My nickname for Chris Bosch.
Yeah, that was everyone's nickname for Chris Bosch, because there's the picture of him like screaming after a goal or whatever you do, and then like an ostrich next to him looked the same. So,
I didn't know that. Oh, that was a thing. That was in the ether.
That was in the zeitgeist because he looks like an ostrich.
Do you know what the ether is?
It's like a gas that you inhale in the 1800s.
It's that too. But in the days before Newton came up with gravity, they thought that the planets moved around the sun
In an ether?
in a substance, because things can only move if other things are directly like touching them.
It has to interact with something in
Right.
order to move. Yeah. Can't just float around in nothing.
Right. So they thought it was like water or like some viscous substance.
The celestial miasma.
Yeah. So if you read like C.S. Lewis's space series, it's like you're going out into the ether and like there's...
But C.S. Lewis lived way after Newton.
Yeah, but he didn't do any research for space research. That's not his job.
He Edgar Rice Burroughs his science. I have not read the space series, but I heard it was good. I think you told me it was good.
It's okay.
Not as good as the Narnia series. Bostrichiformia is the infer order. The superfamily is Bostrichoideae. The family is Dermestidae. The genus is Anthrenus. And the species, Flavipus. Anthrenus flavipus. Flavishum.
Yeah, what is that? No, that's from The Great Mouse.
Great Mouse Detective. Flavishum. But yeah, Anthrenus Flavipus. Flavipus.
Anthrenus.
But that brings me to my favorite part of the show. Since we're in the business of naming things, and business is good. Critter groups. The part of the show where I ask you, Joe, a question, and that question is the same every time. What is the name of a group of this animal, or what is the term of entry, or what is the collective noun? And we're talking about Beetle Bailey. Beetles. If you saw a group of beetles and have not accidentally seen my screen, since we're sitting in the same room, is a group of beetles A, a colony of beetles, B, a brick of beetles, C, an infestation of beetles, or D, a flight of beetles?
Flight of the Beetles. Beetlebee.
That's my favorite classical song, Flight of the Beetles.
I think you'll find, when you look upon your screen, that the answer is colony.
Yeah, you saw it.
I didn't see it. I was guessing.
You definitely saw it.
I certainly did
During
not
our
see
technical setup here.
This is slander. I saw nothing.
Slandersham?
I specifically averted my eyes from such temptations.
I'll believe it when I don't see it. Ding, ding, ding. The answer is colony. Yes, a colony of beetles. I think we've done beetles before.
I think I knew that. No. It felt like it was kicking around back there.
You're just way too smart for this game. Mm-hmm. But yes, colony of beetles. Would you like to hear what this thing looks like?
I sure would. Forest.
What?
I sure would, Forest. Sherwood Forest.
Oh, haha. Don't call me Sherwood. Of course I'm Forest. Don't call me Sherwood.
You're either Forest or against us.
Some people are physically hurt by that. All right, so this little carpet beetle looks like a small, round, scarabesque beetle. It's symmetrical.
The grotesque and scarabest.
Scarabest. It's the scarabest in the world. It's got gold, brown, and white flecks on its shell. So that's why I call it the bedazzled beetle, because it actually kind of looks a little bedazzled.
It is quite striking.
Mm-hmm. So strike it. Because you don't want it in your house. No. It's got 6 legs, like all insects, and they are coated in yellow scales. And from its head, that is oftentimes dipped down, it has 2 antennae that are tipped with large club-like bulbs. And that's the adult stage. I imagine you're going to talk about the larva stage a little bit more.
A little. But you can talk about other stuff they do. Like they're called woolly somethings.
Mammoths?
Bears, I think. Woolly bears?
No, that's the woolly bear moth. We did that one already.
Yeah, they're like in the UK, they have to name everything something cute. So it's called like the woolly... The nickname for the larva is like the woolly something.
Like the tube? Oh, the telly.
Yeah, push chairs.
What?
That's like...
Is that a wheelchair?
It's either a wheelchair or push cart or a pram.
A pram, yeah.
I've heard both.
Or a trolley.
Yep.
It is cute. Pretty cute.
A bonnet.
Yes. No, I'll talk about the larva stage a little bit later, but for now, I said it was a small scarab-esque beetle.
Mm-hmm.
Is it bigger than a scarab? Smaller than a scarab? Will it eat Brendan Fraser? Who knows?
No, just the other characters in that movie.
Yeah, he's got plot armor. He can't.
Right.
He can't be hurt by scarabs.
So that brings us to the Blood Measure Up segment, the official listener's favorite part of the show. The part of the show where we present the animal size and dimensions in relatable terms to a quiz that's fun for the entire family.
Even the dog.
It's also part of the show that's introduced by you when you send an audio of yourself saying, singing, or chittering the words to measure up into ldtaxonomy@gmail.com.
Do it.
Speaking of that, it looks like Carlos is going to get a 5% bonus because we have a new measure up. Yeah. So
I wish this was like episode 300 or something like that. That'd be awesome.
If you are tuning in for the first time or if you skipped last time, we've decided to give Carlos a 5% bonus towards the answering of both questions.
Oh, for both?
Yeah.
I thought I was like a lifeline I could use for one.
No.
Oh.
It's a good thing. If you would like to see Carlos win.
Or get close. Or have a chance.
Hopefully you have benevolent fans out there. Not the kind that like... Not sadists. Or Satanists.
True. I don't want... I'm not about that either.
But if it's a Satanist, then it's somebody who does what they whilst. And hopefully what they whilst is...
That's modern. What if they're like occult Satanists?
Oh, well then... I don't know.
Then we have a problem on our hands.
Eating a cat or something.
And probably goat blood on our hands as well.
Let's dig into this email. It's not just a measure up. It's an email.
This is a whole kit and possibly even the caboodle.
Yeah. So, it's from Melissa. And she says, "Hey there." Hello.
Hi,
Melissa.
If you subscribe on Patreon, you can see us wave to you.
But if you're not, we're waving to you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Had to reach out and let you know. You guys are my new fave podcast.
Nice.
Isn't that incredible?
I can't believe this is people's favorite podcast.
I've been binging since I stumbled across you to the... She's writing this well, and I'm just illiterate. Let me just make that known.
You should learn to read it. It really helps in life.
I've just memorized the words.
Okay.
I've been binging since I stumbled across you to the point where I've even succumbed to reruns at times.
Ooh.
Dork, I know. Let's stop with that negative self-talk.
You cut that out.
If you're giving us the extra mustard of a second viewing, listening, there's not a dorkiness about it.
No, that just means you have very, very good taste.
Or you're very, very charitable.
With your time.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to everything and then a little bit more. That's amazing. And she says, thanks for the education / entertainment. Nothing like fun facts done hilariously to put a balance in one step. I'll keep my fingers crossed for a fainting goat episode. I think we've gotten 2 requests for the fainting goat.
Okay. Fainting and screaming. Maybe we can squeeze 2 episodes out of that, like The Hobbit, or 3. We got to get 3.
Or a full movie.
The battle of the 5 goats.
And it'll be the entirety of the comedy of that episode, like Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Also, you can't go wrong with gross - redacted for the kids parasites.
Okay.
Like the one that gets its eggs in the victim, so when they hatch, the babies have a feast while the poor mouse is slowly eaten from the inside out.
Have we done that one? I don't think we've done
I
that
feel
one.
like it sounds like a reference to something that we've done. But if not, we'll have to find it.
Yeah, that sounds horrifying and gross and totally something
What
we would
would we
cover. Yeah.
Anyhow, here's a random assortment of Measure Up recordings, should you deem any worthy, and I have deemed them all worthy. And I feel like
Marvelous.
you will also. So,
how marvelous. I'm done. I'm not gonna countryfy that whole song.
Country Fry. Let's get into it. Without further ado, the listener's favorite part of the show.
Measure up. Beep boop 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 boop.
Did you?
A robot sent it in.
She built a whole robot for this.
Google itself sent one in. I've heard Google. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, that is Google.
That is the Google bot.
Mr. Google is actually a robot. But
Nice. Thank
you so much for that Measure Up, Melissa.
That was succinct, well acted,
Robotic.
very robotic, in the best way possible. Mm-hmm. It's very, very stiff performance.
If that's the R2D2 language, she could be swearing, and I wouldn't even know.
That's true.
But if I bleep it out, it'll sound the same.
just replace the beep beep boops with R2 beeps and swoops.
Okay. So that's the first of several.
Nice. Well, then we have some material for the coming weeks.
We're sitting pretty.
And that means all of you out there have lots of time to allow me to have a fighting chance and Measure Up.
Yeah, for a long time coming.
There is now an intrinsic value to sending in a Measure Up rather than just hearing your voice on the show.
So the extrinsic would be we like it. What's
the extrinsic is yes. We're making us happy when there's a Measure Up for the show. And then the intrinsic value is that the Measure Up game is tolerable.
Okay, so
bring it on.
Let's talk length. They're between 2 and 3.5 millimeters or 0.13 inches long.
Okay.
How many carpet beetles go into the length of the longest rug? Oh, it's my stomach. I really gotta...
My walls are made out of paper. I live in Japan. Thank you for visiting me here in Japan. The longest rug. I mean, I'm picturing like a runner in Buckingham Palace.
Not a bad guess.
Does that count as a rug? Because
Yeah.
rugs and runners are two technically different things. This one's a runner. For sure.
Because it's long.
This one's Usain Bolt. It's a runner.
Well, here's a hint. The longest rug was made by The Children Are Painting the World Social Fund.
That's a mouthful.
In 2018 in Kazakhstan. So, for an international art competition.
That's a long name for something.
Mm-hmm.
To write love on her children that are painting the world.
Waiting on the world to change.
Yeah. I mean, someone with some time and dedication, and I guess thread. I'm not really sure what goes into a rug. Can make a infinitely long rug. That's not true, but I'm gonna assume that this thing is no, that can't be right. Almost at 300 feet. It's a whole football field. That's a long one. Say half of that. 150 feet.
I forgot you could see that.
Fortunately,
there's no way you could see it.
I have a calculator over our little screen there, so that you can't force me to cheat. I'm gonna say 150 feet. It's probably way more than that, but I don't think it's less than that. Times 12 is 1,800 inches. Times 0.13 inches. That's not right. It's 1,800 divided. 13,846. Just ballparking. I didn't use a calculator. Don't at me. I don't know what that means.
It means don't type in at and then your name into like Twitter or whatever.
Just like don't email me, don't call me about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Emails and calls are
better
are
ways
not
of
referred to or thought of in the
better ways of communication.
the Gen Z internet, but email is certainly not better.
Elon Musk, save us from @ signs.
Final answer.
Yeah, 13,800.
The correct answer is 3,116,000.
Let me see if I got my 5% will help.
The rub was 10.
It doesn't.
The rub was 10,908.11 meters, or 35,787 feet and 9 inches.
I knew it was either like very modest and reasonable, or astronomical.
Like 150. I was thinking of like carpets. I'm like 150. That's nothing for a carpet. But I guess a 150 foot rug is quite a bit. But
150 feet straight is a lot for a carpet. I mean, have you asked a carpet? That's a lot for it. My carpet doesn't do that.
it's a lot on their plate. Let's talk about the adult lifespan. When they become the Beatles.
They hold up traffic on Abbey Road for a little while so they can take a dumb picture.
An iconic picture, to be sure. They're between 30 to 60 days, their lifespans. So going with the upper end of average, 60 days, how many of the longest period a human went without sleep go into the lifespan of a carpet beetle? This is one of those things I wanted to learn about. Now we have a long hint about it. So here's a hint. Randy Gardner set the record for the longest period without sleep in 1963. If you're thinking that is a long time to hold a record, that's because...
It's a long time to go without sleeping.
Well, that's because Guinness won't recognize or record it anymore.
Because it's bad for you?
Since it's so dangerous for your health, yeah. They also don't record
drinking contests or something like
heaviest, that. like anything that would modify your body in an unhealthy way, like eating so much.
So it's quite possible that one guy who was like 1,000 pounds in Ripley's, believe it or not, has been surpassed.
Ripley's is a different entity. They're no holds barred over
They'll do whatever they want.
So Gardner did it as a student and wanted to test if cognitive skills and basketball skills would decline. That was the revised version of it.
Basketball skills?
That was the revised version of it. The original version of it was, will it give me superpowers? Or unlock more human potential? They found that some strange results. His sense of smell became more sensitive, to the point that strong smells would make him irritable. Now, I don't know if that's more sensitive or he's just more irritable.
Yeah.
So a strong smell is just get that out of my face. Get that corn out of my face. It's corn.
Or is that a superpower?
A big lump with knobs. It's probably a superpower.
Is it like Daredevil, but just with smell?
His basketball skills improved.
Did it?
But the researchers believe that it was likely because he was naturally athletic and he was using basketball to stay awake through the experiment, so he's spending more time in the basketball court.
So he got better by the end of the ordeal.
But in mice, sleep deprivation has proven deadly, so it's considered an extremely dangerous challenge. So don't do it. And you won't even get a Guinness World Record about it.
You can just brag to your friends.
Yeah, and they'll say Pixar didn't happen.
I don't pick pictures of you staying awake. Look, this is me again.
Every
staying
picture
awake.
of me is me staying awake, unless every selfie of me is me staying awake.
Yeah. Oh, I sleepwalk, so I might be able to take a picture of myself with asleep, which would be crazy.
I wonder if it would be the first one of those sleeping selfies.
That's my favorite band.
Mm-hmm. It's my favorite gun from Destiny.
Sleeping selfies.
Sleeping selfie stimulant.
I feel like I would just pass out. I physically would not be able to go more than a few days. And even if I was playing basketball to stay awake, I would just kind of fall over.
Well, they said that at a certain point he if he was sitting and he closed his eyes, he would be asleep. His body was just you're sleeping now, and they would have to wake him up.
So then he loses.
Like
immediately. This is all moot. He fell asleep.
I think, it might have said if he closed his eyes and sat down, he would be asleep. That might have been the language.
How do they know that unless he did it?
He was really tired.
I think he's a fraud. All right, I'm gonna assume that he went.
Although I don't think you're getting restful. I think the experiment still stands if you accidentally fall asleep for 1 second. Because I don't know if anything's being repaired in terms of cognitive function or...
I guess you are being sleep deprived the entire time. Goodness, I'm going to say 20 days. But that seems like way too much. I might say 10. 15. That's what I'm going to do. 15 days. And that fits into 60 quite nicely. Because the answer is quattro.
Quattro?
Quattro.
Final answer?
Yes.
Since this is a small one, do you want to get closer with like maybe a decimal? Or do you think it's 4.0?
4.0.
Okay. Final answer.
Yeah.
The correct answer is 5.4.
I don't know if I win.
Gardner stayed awake for 264 hours, or 11 days. So with that extra percentage...
So that extra percentage gets me to 4.72.
Which is...
Oh, no, wait. What did I say? I didn't say 4.5. I just said 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, you go... Okay, 4... divided by 4.5.
4.2 is what I have going in my favor with the extra 5%.
Well, you're not adding 5% to your number. You're adding 5% to the
either way
percentage. So
4. Okay.
You said 4.0 divided by what was it? 5.1.
I don't know. You want to
5.4 equals. So that's a 74%.
I got a 79. This
Wait,
is the worst kind of measure up, apparently. Which for me is most of them.
Is it 79? Is it 79 flat or 79.5?
79.07.
Dang. Well, it's a good thing Melissa sent more than one.
Yeah, I have another chance at it. I was dramatically wrong with the first one and just squeaked under or over with this one.
Is this the worst example of a Jessica Ian worst measure up? Because you were this close to being right on the money, and she says it's not good when you're either really close and miss, or it's only good when you hit it, or it's really far away. So this might be the worst measure up ever.
But at least like the subject of how long do you go without sleep is interesting.
Right.
And how long was it again?
11 days.
11 days.
It seems so attainable.
No, it doesn't. I've been not sleeping very much recently. And even just getting like 3 or 4 hours a night for a few days, it's like getting kicked in the teeth. Which has never happened to me, so I can't really draw that comparison.
Well, you've been sleep deprived, so you know exactly what it's like.
Yeah, well, I know what that feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up not sleeping. Yeah, it's a lot of time on your hands.
But what if all you have to do is like write notes and play basketball?
Then I would fall asleep on accident all the time.
True.
Because eventually I have to stop playing basketball. All right. I've got some fast facts.
Okay.
For the major fact.
Let's hear them.
So the carpet beetle lives all over the world, like Johnny Cash. It's been everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it particularly likes warmer areas, and also people's homes in warmer areas.
I love people's homes.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I love human habitations.
Yeah.
Although there are some human habitations I've been in where I would rather camp.
I'm sure that's true.
And yeah, goodness. I just got flashbacks of a house with like 14 cats in it that all lived in one room and had no litter box.
That's, I would say 13 too many. Although
I'd say 14 too many.
Oh yeah, because
I'm allergic to cats.
Why would you even dirty their threshold?
Because I didn't realize that I was gonna be accosted by like a wall of cat funk until I was accosted.
A wall of cat funk.
It's
my
like
favorite Magic card.
It's a single green 05 wall.
Yep.
Some obscure magic humor there. As adults, carpet beetles eat pollen and nectar, but I hear it has a different diet in its youth. As an adult, it only lives for about 2 months once it pupates. We're bringing back that just lovely word, pupate.
Moist pupates in a cloister.
Cloister doesn't sound that bad to me.
What did you say? Cluster? You hate
cluster is gross.
Huh.
I don't know. Moist and cluster are two gross words. You put them together, you get cloister, and you get a pretty cool Pokemon. Anyway, during its adult life of about 2 months, it will lay over 100 eggs. Well, the females will. And those eggs will hatch into larvae that have little hairs over their posteriors that they constantly vibrate at a high frequency. And I could not find why this does this, but it deters predators like wasps and things like that, and pseudoscorpions.
It deters me from She-Hulk when something does that.
When something vibrates
it's
constantly.
Posterior, yeah.
That was good. That was good. I was like, what? It's just a show of just nonstop giant twerking people.
Giant twerking people.
I couldn't find, so I was like, why would a wasp look down and be like, it's too much vibration. I'm not into it. Maybe it's having flashbacks of the Japanese honeybee that vibrates.
Yes, that's what it is.
It to death. In any case, you don't want none when the carpet beetle larva wiggles his butt hairs. Mm-hmm. You don't want it. And I'll leave it there and pass it on to you.
I guess,
Sir
Major its milkshake facts. Doesn't bring all the predators to the yard.
It's butt shake. I drink.
Oh, no. That's illegal. We don't do that.
That's Jenka or whatever that is.
Jenkum. Yeah.
Oh,
that's getting cut out. We're going to sully the ears of our listeners.
People are going to have some things to Google, and it's going to be bad.
Although that's a good ender, but without the Jenkum part. Okay. Let's talk about the major fact, which I am titling Nail Biter.
Like me. No. Until recently. I've overcome that. I'm better now.
Did you put like lemon juice on your fingernails?
No, because I would love it. I like lemons.
What is it? They put there's something that you like put on like babies.
Nail polish remover? No, I just overcame it with sheer willpower.
Oh, that's good.
Because I'm just that awesome.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, so if you find a small critter crawling in your sheets, carpets, blankets, and drapes, your hackles may rise. I know mine would. Mm-hmm. Bed bugs are a wicked problem to have in your house, I'm told. I've never had it. My wife has had it before she was my wife, and I rescued her from such things.
From a life of bed bugs?
I feel like I'm just jinxed myself.
You don't want bed bugs.
But yeah, so like it's not good. But carpet beetles are a whole different thing. So carpet beetles larvae live in your home, and they like it. So do I.
So do the cockroaches.
Yeah. And they won't invade your bed and bite your leggies at night. But they will hand out, I wrote handout. I'm going to hand out your fabrics. They're just giving away my fabrics.
Or they're like towel boys. And every time you try to like, you like
You get out of the shower.
You hold your hand out of the shower and just like a carpet beetle like
Thanks, tiny beetle
leg.
with a men's strength.
with a man's strength. Hands you a hot towel, sir.
But they will hang out in your fabrics and eat them. So their diet is made up almost entirely of keratin. Keratin products.
They can see really well, right?
Which keratin is... That's carrots.
Oh.
You're thinking of carrots.
Oh, got it. Right, that's right, carrots.
Keratin is what is making your hair and nails and your horns, rhino horns.
I do need to
and your furs and your
stop them
feathers
from growing.
So, turns out that kind of stuff is in cloth fibers and wool and other fabrics. So, it's up for grabs. It is the macaroni and cheese for the carpet beetle. The macaroni and cheese and chicken nuggets. The stuff that the kids eat that the adults grow out of. Although those things sound pretty good.
I'll take macaroni and cheese and chicken nuggets any day.
SpaghettiOs. You eat SpaghettiOs today, it's like, ugh. Spaghetti, no.
I'll still eat Chef Boyardee though. If you gave it to me, I'd be like, this is pretty good.
I had 2 days one time, which is in football. You instead of having a 2-hour practice, you have a 4-hour practice.
Sounds like fun.
Or two 2-hour practices in a day. So you're pretty dehydrated. So I get home and I ate a bunch of SpaghettiOs. And my body said, not this water. And it got rid of it. So that was like the end of SpaghettiOs for me.
That's me and Kit Kats. But not because of 2-a-days. It was because it was the last of a lot of candy that I had. And then
but it's just chocolate and wafer. I feel like there's so many things that are...
But it has a very particular flavor. Otherwise...
If it was an off-brand, do you think you would get past your sensors?
It's kind of the waferness that just it just brings back very vivid memories of that Boomers over next to the Cinemark Palace on Glades Road where I threw up when I was like 11.
And then they closed it down. Actually, no, that Boomers is still going.
Yeah,
You've sprinkled the magic of child vomit on it, and
they can't close it now.
They can't close it now.
It's not by law.
So, anything in your home that's made of fur, horns, silk, wool, bristles, feathers, skin, bones, tortoiseshell. I don't know if you've got a lot of tortoiseshell.
Hide the tortoiseshell.
Can be eaten by these boys. So, carpets may not seem like they have a ton of nutritional value.
Probably not.
And if you're thinking that, you silly goose, you're pretty much right. Because only a few animals, including the carpet beetle and some moths, you've heard of moths eating your clothes and stuff like that, are able to digest keratin. Keratin, if like you try to eat it, it would be like fibrous, undigestible. It would go straight through you. But these guys can break it down, even though it's stomach acid resistant. Carpet beetles have the unique ability of digesting the proteins that make up... Keratin is a protein, but it is, hardy against acid.
Drink a keratin shake, a fingernail shake.
Yeah.
Delicious.
It's just pure fiber.
Yeah.
That's what's in a fiber.
Also, it lacerates your esophagus.
So they particularly enjoy linens, though, and you'll like this. Linens and fibers that are soaked in excrement, blood, and animal oils.
This just get better and better.
So if you have a towel and you
bleed into it,
or just touch it with your hand oils, that's chef's kiss to a carpet beetle.
That's like putting Chick-fil-A sauce on it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So in fact, keratin-eating insects can only thrive on soiled fibers, just like I can only thrive on chicken dipped in Chick-fil-A sauce.
That's true. So, your freshly washed linens are disgusting to this beetle.
Well, they're not. I wouldn't say they're disgusting, but they have less nutritional value. Obviously, you're eating nothing but fiber, so you need like salt from sweat,
dirt.
Vitamin B is another thing that's like really lacking in keratin. So they need Vitamin B from blood and sweat and
Vitamins.
tears and poop. I poured my blood, sweat, and tears and poop into this towel for you, slaving over the stove.
Now I gotta clean the stove like really bad.
Unless you want to get on up here and take care of that. So if you're worried about them, keep your linens clean and wash your rugs and stuff.
And yeah,
It's just less appetizing. But if these guys are carpet killers, what do they do in the vast uncarpeted wilds?
pollen and nectar.
It's like the Puritans thought, like that you got to stay out of the vast uncarpeted wilds. Only where civilization is safe.
I missed that part of Pilgrim's Progress. It seems like he spends a lot of time in the wilderness.
Is John Bunyan a Puritan? Did I say Puritan or Pilgrim?
I'm pretty sure John Bunyan was a Puritan.
He could have been. So what do they eat? In their natural environment, carpet beetles, their larvae, live in the nests of birds, rodents, insects, and spiders, where they eat hair, feathers, and plant fibers. So either way, they're living in a house. They need
Somebody's
the house
house.
of another thing.
Because people things make houses out of fiber.
What
apparently.
are we if not in a nest right now? A big nest.
Yeah. Houses these days, you walk in and there's just a big sign that says, "Bless this nest," or whatever.
Yeah. And what they're referring to is the smart thermostat.
Yeah. or just this very advanced bird's nest that we've managed to build here.
Yeah. So if you vacuum up carpet beetle larvae, you have to clean out your vacuum thoroughly, because otherwise you have just made them a perfect little bed and breakfast where food is delivered at gale force speeds. That's what you're doing. You put them into this little dark space where they're protected from predators, and you just suck up like fibers and blood and sweat and excrement.
Yeah, but then you seal the bag and throw it in the garbage,
Right,
and then they can go and thrive at the dump.
So if you see some carpet beetle larvae and you vacuum them up, don't just
Put your vacuum away.
Yeah,
that's true.
because they'll just
Hang out in
make moss. They'll live moss. They'll make moss.
Yeah, and they'll probably also eat your Taco Bell bags.
Yeah,
Depending on how moss you live.
and if they deserve the win, if you're vacuuming your Taco Bell bags.
Yeah, that's on you.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
that's all I got for that.
Yeah, there seem to be a pest that sticks around.
Yeah, they're not as difficult. It seems like they're not as difficult to get rid of as bed bugs.
Bed bugs are the worst.
Mm-hmm.
My parents had them once, and basically, like the strategy that the pest control people gave them was to, go and sleep in your bed every night, because then you'll keep all the bed bugs there. If you sleep elsewhere, then they will be on your bed and on your couch and on your floor and in your sleeping bag. So just stay on your bed so that they can eat you there.
Resign yourself to your fate. You lose. You get nothing.
You stole fizzy lifting drink. Yeah, that's horrible. That's definitely like a burn it and start again kind of situation.
These guys, though, apparently like upholstered furniture is particularly vulnerable.
I, to this day, don't know what upholstered means.
Like, I think it's just like, this is leather, but if like it was fabric, I think it's upholstered either way. It is just furniture that has a fabric stretched over it.
That's what I thought, but then this got me thinking that it was like something specific.
How long have we gone?
44 minutes.
Okay.
This has been a while.
A good amount.
We've gone on some tangents. Oh, I get to find out if John Bunyan was a Puritan.
Is it up? Yes. Upholstery.
100% a Puritan.
Upholstery is the materials which include fabric, padding, webbing, and springs that make up the soft coverings of chairs, sofas, and other furniture.
So it's just fabric.
Yeah.
Just any fabric furniture.
And even springs and like anything that like makes furniture more comfortable than a wooden bench.
I guess it's just like a kind of catch-all term for that.
Yeah.
Upholstery. I always thought of something specific, like, oh, this one's upholstery. It's like, well, yeah, it's not a bench.
Like they enjoy the flavor of upholstery more. That's why it's particularly vulnerable.
Is upholstery like a chicken pot pie?
Yeah. It's delicious layers.
Upholstery in motion.
But yeah.
All right. That is the carpet beetle. If you're out there in Podcastia, wiggle your butt hairs. Lay lots of eggs. And get your daily vitamins from whatever you can find, like the carpet beetle here in life, death, and taxonomy.
Hey Taxonomy Titans, I just want to remind you that we now have a Patreon. Patrons can see full video episodes and get shoutouts on the show. But ultimately, it's a way for you to help us cover some costs and get even better. Still, reviews are the best way to help us grow. So if you haven't left one yet, we'd really love to hear from you. As always, thanks for listening and engaging.
Life, Death, and Taxonomy is my favorite in the world podcast.
Ding! Can you like edit in like a little, like a shine, my eye when I wink? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
I think
ding.
I'll make a really bad attempt.
Yeah, just take like a clip art thing and just kind of wheel it. Wheel it. It's been